When you think of video games, the first genre people usually think of is the first-person shooter. Maybe it's the accessibility, maybe it's the idea of just putting bullets into shit. Who knows why we love them? My favorite part has always been the campaign, though. From Doom to Call of Duty, it's time to examine my favorites and choose the best of the best. It's the top 10 shooter campaigns. Quick side note, these are all games I have played and beaten, and must be to make the list. Also, we are talking about first-person shooters, so no Uncharted's or Gears of War. So let's pull the trigger on this. But first up, some honorable mentions. Valve Shooter has some of the best gameplay on this list, especially the co-op. It's a blast to run through hordes of zombies with your friends. But let's be honest, that's the true appeal of this series. When it comes to story and world building, this game falls short. Fallout would probably make the list if I had actually beat 3 or New Vegas due to the exceptional story and world building. But I haven't, so it's not. On top of that, clunky gunplay. There is an actual mechanic of VATS to work around how bad the gameplay is. So all of those drop it to the honorable mention category. Okay, here we go. I can hear the complaints now, but I didn't enjoy this story or world building at all. And honestly, I think the appeal of this game was the physics and gunplay at the time. Well, I came to this series in 2010, so I was late to the party and all of that was lost on me. Sorry, Half-Life. This one is probably a little bit too obscure for many, but this fast-paced Western shooter plays with Western lore in a fun way. You'll team up and hunt down various Western royalty like Billy the Kid. Throw solid gunplay on top of that, and you have one of my favorites. It's a good recommend, honestly. I'm sure this is low for many, but I think this is Halo's right spot. Its appeal and staying power was the multiplayer. It was the local deathmatch game. On the plus side though, Halo had awesome spectacle. Giant battlefields you had to work your way through with vehicle combat. Guns that were unique enough to put a nice spin on what you had seen. It was a great opening act to what this game series would become. Borderlands 2 was a great improvement on the original in every way. Gunplay was tighter, still not the best, but much improved. The environments had much more variety, and even more crazy-ass guns that changed the way you play. But the best improvement were the cast of characters, including a new villain, Handsome Jack. They are so good, and they walk the line of that crazy randomness. It is a loot full of fun. This one is debatable, but I ended up landing on the side that RE7 is a shooter. Guns are the primary combat, and while they are clunky, I believe that is on purpose. Clunky combat helps build tension, which is the goal of survival horror. Now to the good stuff. The atmosphere and world building of the farm is great. Great bosses and characters. You could shit your pants at any second. It was a triumphant return for the series. Another dark horse. While everyone was into Gears, my alien shooter was Resistance. The weapons are fun. Bullseye shooting around corners, auger shooting through walls, and the AI was some of the best at the time. Resistance 2 had you traveling across the US exploring many different vistas and environments, bringing down many great bosses, some the size of skyscrapers. On top of a solid story of Nathan Hale, the whole game comes together great. I've never been the biggest Call of Duty fan, but I was so impressed when this series jumped from World War II. The set pieces were amazing, the cinematography style was best in class, basic narrative with great moments that really sold the immersion, such as a nuclear bomb going off or shooting a 50 cal rifle. Call of Duty already had top-of-class gameplay, but now it was the whole package. If this was just gameplay, Doom could possibly have been number 1. It's so fast and satisfying ripping demons apart. The sound effects really sell the power of the guns, especially the shotgun and chainsaw. World building isn't the best for me though. The things that are great are subtle, whether it's demonic corporate rah-rah messages or Doom guys solving every issue with a punch. And these moments are great, but the narrative is just lacking for me. Not enough moment-to-moment teeth. But in the end, Doom kicks ass. I bet I am the only person who would actually put Wolfenstein ahead of Doom here. Because Doom does play better. It's true. But Wolfenstein is functional to fun for most of the game. However, Wolfenstein's story is light years ahead of anything on this list. It's the audacity and absurdity of this game. There are moments I will remember for the rest of my life. And it also has maybe one of my favorite villains of all time. If it did play better, it would be number 1 with a bullet. I was shocked how much I loved this game. It plays so well. The locomotion feels unnaturally good. Wall running, sliding, shooting feels so fluid and intuitive. And the story of a boy and his robot was genuine and sincere. You actually kind of grow to love the big guy. Throw in the awesome levels and set pieces and you have number 2. It's one of my top 10 games of all time. There is no game that does world building and atmosphere better. You want to explore every inch as the intrigue of Rapture is peeled back one layer at a time. Big Daddies, Little Sisters, Andrew Ryan, Splicers, Plasmids, it's all so interesting. The gameplay won't be everyone's favorite, but for 2006, I had a lot of fun, and I can still go back and play it today. I could go on for hours, but I'll stop. But I'll say just get used to seeing BioShock. I love this game! What do you guys think? What game did I miss? Do you agree? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Catch you on the next one, guys.